All right. And we should be live. Good morning, everyone. Welcome back. Michael here at Lake Michigan Angler. Rob is out. He'll be back Monday. So it's just me holding down the report for today, as well as the shop. Welcome. Hopefully, you guys had a great week. As always, we're here to kind of give you an update on the ice fishing that's happening on the lakefront, harbors, and as well as covering some of what's going down in our area lakes, inland lakes as well. We've got some new exciting stuff to share with you as far as gear that's arrived here at the shop. Now that the New Year's here and every day gets closer to the season, we got more and more stuff flying in. So really excited to share a couple of things that we got in yesterday or day before yesterday. We got boxes everywhere. We're going to talk about that. And as always, I answer all your questions, as many as I can, about whatever it is that's on your mind, whether it's salmon fishing, whether it's I've limited ice fishing knowledge. I don't ice fish myself, but we could talk about some ice fishing stuff in general, and yeah, anything else. So, good morning, welcome, Captain Dominic. What's up? Good morning, Jason, Bill, Kenny, Alex, Trek. What's up? Exactly the topic I was hoping for. Yeah. Listen, it's set up for a great ice fishing day this weekend. Listen, I've been pouring bait. I've been covering for Rob most of the week, about since the middle of the week, and I've been pouring bait like it's nobody's business. We've got great ice. I've heard as much as 12 inches in places and stuff. That super cold snap that we had early in the week just really set things up. Now today it's going to be up in the upper 30s, and I mean, relative to what the temp has been in the single digits and the low teens, feels like summer. Feels like summer. Sunny day. Yeah. So I'm assuming that those of you that are here watching, maybe some of you guys are on the ice right now watching. As a matter of fact, if you're on the ice right now fishing and watching this, let me know and where you're fishing at and how it's going for you right now this morning. All right. So, real quick, guys, at any point you have any questions, feel free to drop it in the chat. I'll glance down and I'll answer each question. So don't be shy. There's no question too simple or basic. We try to be a resource here to help out. So don't feel any kind of way about asking a question that you may think is basic or dumb. It's not dumb, so feel free. All right. First things first, let's talk about what we got here at the shop. We've got moonshines. Moonshines have come in. We've got boxes of them, and there's a lot to go through. So you can expect this week. I'm kind of speaking for Rob here, not to put him under the pressure. I don't even know if Rob is watching. I doubt he's watching, but I'm pretty sure that these moonshines will get up on the pegs this coming week. All your favorite colors are back in there. And I guess I wanted to kind of mention this. It's been a conversation point about the moonshine stuff. As far as the hooks go, they have returned to the hooks that they have always used, which I believe were VMCs. I believe they were VMCs. So all of the hooks are back to what they always were prior to the acquisition of Moonshine by Acme. So hopefully that alleviates some concerns with that. So we'll have all your Moonshine favorite colors. I mean, the reality of the situation is that there are still colors, spoons from Moonshine that are just very effective. And I don't, being quite honest with you, even outside of me being here at the shop, just as an angler out there, I would still continue to grab colors that I know always work for me. Like some of my favorites are Dancing Anchovy, Raspberry Carbon, which, by the way, I'm looking for a certain raspberry color. They used to have one. Maybe I'll share a picture that had more of a chartreuse gold tint on the tape and not the bronze. I gotta find some of those. If you got some, let me know. The Flounder Pounders. So I say that to say that I still think they're gonna be very critical in fishing here. To be honest with you. All right. So moonshines are in, and they're going to get put up on the pegs. So there's that. Next we have new for us. This is from Reef Runner. They're called the Flash, And we've got these guys in here now. They kind of remind me of, oh God, what is the name of the other bait? Another brand makes a jig and wrap. Yeah, like the jig and wraps. So to me, these are kind of like a version of the jig and wrap. What's cool about these guys is they got these square cutouts in them. They have like a chrome, so that's where you get that flashing effect in them. And so this is just one color. I opened the box. We got a bunch of different colors on these guys. So these will be going up over the weekday, and Rob will probably get them up on the site in the near future. But these are in, and yeah, so you walleye guys in the spring and stuff like that, or jigging wrapping, maybe another good option for you. And this is from Reef Runner. All right. Speaking of Reef Runner, this one right here, I'm really excited about this. And we knew that this was going to be a thing that was going to happen after Acme acquired Moonshine. And now they're putting that plan into action. What is that exactly? Well, it is Reef Runners with the Moonshine Glow. I'm really excited about this. This is one that I grabbed out of the box. There's plenty more we got. I think this is a new color as well. Glow Deep Diver Bloody Nose. So they're taking some of the Moonshine colors and putting them onto the Reef Runners with the glow. Now, oh yeah, it glows. It just like the spoon. I just covered it. These are going to be legit. I'm excited about these guys in the fall for the Kings. I'm excited about this in the fall for the Kings. So this is the Bloody Nose Moonshine Glow Reef Runner. For those of you that are, harbor rats for the Kings in the fall, the kayak or the boat, I'm excited. I'm excited about that. That's just some of the stuff that just came in that I peered through that I wanted to share with you. And we have more stuff coming in. We've already had people ask us about the Dodgers, like the stubbies. Stubbies are coming. We've got tons of stubbies coming in. There's also, I believe, some new colors that should be coming in that shipment too. We don't have it just yet, but when we do, we'll share that with you. Stubbies are coming. We're going to be loading up on our peanut and 2-inch flies are coming. They've been busy, been worked on, tied up over the winter. So soon enough here, we'll be having that stuff out. If not even by, it's possibly even by next weekend. Next weekend is the Captain Dan Keating salmon seminar. If you're interested in learning about salmon fishing, the first day on Saturday is like the beginner's class. The second day is more advanced. You can sign up on CaptainDanKeating.com on his website. It's all run through him. We're hosting it here. But you can expect a lot of this stuff that I talked about and other stuff that comes in this week to be here and get an early crack at it, because once it's here, once guys get ready for the season, they pick through stuff very, very quickly, and then you're kind of looking for stuff you need. Let me get to some questions here. Is anyone fishing North Point Harbor? John, people are fishing North Point Harbor, and I'll give you guys a report here. We're going to get into the report next here. Renee said, got on a boat, looking to rig it up for some action. Always seat open if you ever want to fish with us. Thank you, Renee. I appreciate that. Brian said he's on Fox Lake now for the crappies. Awesome, man. Hopefully they're biting good. Wondering if 95th boat launch might be open. Alex, I would doubt it. I don't know for sure, but considering how cold it's been, I doubt it. But if anybody else can share that, that'd be great. Old raspberry carbon was yeah, I need the old raspberry carbon. I'm going to put something on my personal Facebook. If I'll trade colors. Listen, I need the old color. All right. Went out Monday, landed 2 browns, any steelhead. Awesome, Lex. And Monday was pretty cold too. Let's see here. You have to upgrade the hooks one size. Yep. Happy Saturday. What's up, Edak? Scott said, your info tops. Good morning. Thank you, Scott. Good morning. All right, let's get into the fishing report here. So early in the week, we had that cold hit us, that damn near Arctic cold. Early in the week, it sounded like things kind of slowed down with the bite, especially in the harbors with the browns and the steelhead. For most guys, do know that some folks even didn't want to fish. It was so cold. They were concerned about pulling out the fish out the hole, that they would freeze pretty quickly. And, if you're not trying to harvest these fish, then obviously you want to release them back. Then you don't want to do that. So early in the week, it seemed like things kind of dipped down a little bit. However, since about Wednesday or so, things have started to pick back up. I think things have kind of stabilize a little bit, and getting reports of guys catching a good amount of browns and steelhead to pretty much the Wisconsin harbors in Kenosha, Racine. I even saw some stuff up in Milwaukee's been doing pretty good as well. All the usual stuff, spawn sacks, which we are out of currently. We sold a ton of them the last couple of days. I don't have any spawn sacks right now. So I hate to be the bearer of bad news. Spawn sacks, tip-ups, jig and tubes, tips with waxies, all the standard stuff. Nothing's really changed in that regard. I think it seems like folks were really just kind of mixing things up, and as the day progressed, they would go from whatever kind of bite to another bite. So just mix it up, give them different options, and just kind of work it that way for your best chances in being productive as possible. Another thing we were kind of hearing about was there kind of being crowded spaces and such like that. So, to be mindful of each other's spaces and stuff like that. And one tip I will share is keep in mind, when you're fishing for browns and steelhead, they're not like crappie or panfish and such where you can fish them and you can yoink them straight out the hole. These fish, when they hit, they're going to go running. So space your holes out. Give yourself some room, because if you're too close and those fish start doing what they do and they're going to go swim everywhere, they're going to wrap up into other stuff, lines. You don't want to tie it into your lines. You don't want to tie it into some other person's lines. It creates an issue there. So give yourself some room out there. And take into account that these fish are going to run on you. You're fishing with light tackle, 6 pound, 8 pound line, whatever it may be. Give that space out there, and hopefully it prevents, issues and such. All right. Lex said, going to try inland this week. There's a ton of inland stuff I'm going to share with you here in a second, as a matter of fact. David said he's having coho fillets for breakfast. All right, there you go. Lex said he caught all his fish on minnows out of the harbor. There you go. Yeah, we've been going through, medium roaches have been pretty par for the course. We do have the large and the XLs. However, for the trout, it seems like the mediums are the way to go. You could even do a large fathead, but I think the medium roaches have been, by and large, the preferred one for most guys coming in here. While the large and the XLs, if you're looking for pike, that's pretty much what guys are using for the pike. Speaking of pike, out of North Point, pike were getting caught. It seemed like they were mostly on the smaller size, 20 to like 32 inches is what guys were telling me that they were catching. Heard of a 40 caught, didn't see it to confirm it or get word. That was kind of like through the grapevine kind of a thing, so take it for what it's worth. But I can't confirm that guys were catching, on the smaller side, 20 to 30 some inch pike out of North Point. Haven't heard of much else out of there pike wise. Guys are also catching the usual bluegills and such out of North Point, but for some reason it's a little different. Previous, I guess like last year, even though we didn't have like as extensive of an ice season as we do now, it seemed like last year they were catching a lot more bigger size, like 30 pluses and like tapping into the 40s quite a bit more. So don't know what's going on with that, but there's still fish there to be caught. Talking about more inland lakes here for ice fishing, guys are out there pounding it. A lot of guys are fishing Lake Andrea in Wisconsin. It's been a very popular spot. Guys are doing well on the bluegill and crappie. Guy came in, said he got into a walleye or two, not much. So Lake Andrea's been doing fairly well. Out of Sterling Lake in Illinois, good reports on crappie, on some perch in bass. Have been doing what guys have been catching the most out of Sterling on the ice. So there's that. Of course, the chain. A lot of guys are on the chain. I suspect that the chain is jammed right now. Again, we've got thick ice from the cold all week, and we've got a sunny day where temps are climbing back up into the mid-upper 30s, which is going to feel warm compared to what we had. I know that the chain's going to be a zoo. That being said, guys that were fishing it throughout the week, on Channel, Marie, and on Fox were mostly where the guys are coming and getting bait and talking to. Crappie, of course, a lot of good catfish are being caught, and heard of some pike getting caught as well. Not too much on walleye, heard walleye here and there, but it seems like primarily it's been like crappie, catfish, some bluegill, of course. I guess that's always kind of a given, which I don't normally mention it. But those would be the main species that guys out of the chain that we talked to that were coming in for bait and such were getting into and stuff. So ice is thick, ice is good. We've got plenty of bait. We had a fresh delivery of bait come in yesterday. Small fatheads, large fatheads, medium, large, and XL on the roaches, and then suckers as well. We have those available if you guys are looking for any of that. How's the ice everybody seen? Ice is good. Ice is good everywhere right now. We got 14 walleyes last night. Nice. Good morning, Windblow. Beautiful day to hit the ice. Yep, a lot of people are on the ice. I'm assuming that a lot of people that were normally inside on Saturday are now out there. Jeff said walleye on Power Lake, Wisconsin. Awesome. Thanks for sharing that. Captain Dominic said sunset sunrise has a 30-minute flash bite every day, it seems. Last night the wind picked up and the walleyes went on fire. Okay. Lex said ice in Racine is 10 inches plus. Thank you for sharing that. Yeah. I mean, inland lakes and stuff, it's definitely like 12. Multiple people came in saying they got about 12 inches of ice on the inland lakes. You know, the harbors themselves, especially Kenosha, is like, once you get into the back end of it by the ramp, it's definitely it's almost like its own little mini lake, and that freezes up pretty good, so it's good ice over there. Also heard perch getting caught out of Kenosha. So there's that. Couldn't tell you, some of the guys were tight-lipped on exactly where, but they were catching them in the ice out of Kenosha. My suspicion is it's probably somewhere between the launch and the bridge. I don't know that they're out anywhere else doing that, but that's just my suspicion without knowing much more. But yeah, perch were getting caught out of Kenosha as well. Kind of throwing that out there. That's kind of where we're at with it right now. It seems like, you know, we've got this weekend's going to probably be a good weekend. We're going to get a lot more info as guys come in and such over the weekend, sharing how they've done. But, I mean, now's a great time to be getting out there and take advantage of it. Hopefully tomorrow you're able to get out and do some fishing. Got plenty of ice jigs, plenty of live bait. We've got spikes, waxworms. We've got red spikes as well available. They came in. We're limited on the red spikes, but we do have some currently right now still here. What else? What else you guys want to talk about? That's kind of a quick run through, you know, on the ice fishing right now. We're going to kind of go up on a warming trend. By warming, I mean like 30. I saw the reports in the 30s, maybe even touching the 40s next week. So the ice is thick enough that you shouldn't do too much to it right away. But it should make it so that it's nice to be out there fishing for sure while the ice is thick. Morning, guys. Great meeting you at the shop this summer. Ever run radar reels in the harbors? You know what, Rugby? I'm not sure what that is, so I can say no, I haven't. So there's that. Any questions, guys? Any questions that you have? Feel free to drop it in the chat. I think I covered. I wanted to cover that. I'm trying to think of what else I wanted to mention to you real quickly as far as at the shop. We have seen that Salmon Candy has new colors and flashers for this year. So we'll find out more about that. We'll see if we're gonna get that in our order. But I did see there's new Salmon Candy colors this year. We're waiting on our order for that to come in. And as we get stuff in, we will post updates and share that on our Facebook as well. Jason said, what's a good stable kayak for beginners? You know what? Most of the fishing kayaks that are coming out now are all pretty good and stable, to be honest with you. If you're fishing Lake Michigan, you definitely want minimum 12 foot length. If you're inland fishing, you can get away with something like a 10-inch and stuff like that. You're not really worried about all the wave stuff that you do out in Lake Michigan. But if you're looking at something that has like a 35, 36 plus inch width beam, I think those are typically going to be pretty stable and be good for you. So you got Hobies. If you're Lake Michigan fishing, the two main brands that most guys are fishing out of, they're just proven, are going to be your Hobie Pro Anglers or your Old Town like the Autopilot or the Sportsman or the Big Water. Not to say other brands won't work, but most kayak guys are fishing out of those two brands. Brad, good morning. David said, I ordered a bunch of stubby and flies from you guys over the internet. Awesome, David. Thank you. Yep. Like I said, if you ordered anything during this week, it'll get shipped out this coming week. Rob's out for vacation, so I've been helping cover while he's been gone throughout the week and get things out to you guys early this week once he's back. Had him in a couple days. Great to hear that. Yeah. Again, we're going to get more of our flies coming in. Everything, we're getting set up for the springtime. So as you can expect, stubbies are coming, flashers are coming, flies will be here, peanuts will be loaded up again. All of that's coming in. We got spoons that came in from Moonshine. So we're getting all set up here for all of that. And if you guys are out fishing, make sure you let us know how it's doing for you so we can help get some info back to everybody else and share that in our weekly reports. Morning. All right. Good morning. I love your show. Me, the fan bam, always watching. Keep up. Need more outdoor enthusiasts. Philip, thank you. We appreciate that. Appreciate that. All right. One big thing, I'll share this with you because if there's not any questions, then we'll wrap it. But I'll ask you guys this. Considering this has been one of the colder winters periods that we've had in the last couple of years, it's been the best ice season we've had in at least 3 years. How do you guys think it's going to impact the salmon fishing, the salmon season, the beginning of it? For context, in the last couple of years, we had very mild winters, and it seemed as though, well, not as it seemed, but we saw that those coho that arrived earlier than normal, than what has been historically been the case. You're catching them in March and in April. And although it might not be the mass of them that you see in May time, but they would show up early. Do you think that this cold might impact some coho showing up, earlier than normal? Do you think we might have a more normal, traditional spring run where we get them all in May? They won't show up before that. What do you guys think? Do you think this weather, this cold that we've had, is going to impact any of that? Been too busy to fish, but made some time to tie some tinsel jigs for spring crappie. Nice. Do you ever run braid for a leader on tip-ups, especially for pike? I wish Rob was here to answer that for you, Rugby. I don't ice fish, so that's a question maybe somebody else in the chat can share or answer for you. Going to try Wind Lake and Little Green or Big Green tomorrow. Good luck, Lex. Let us know how that goes. Christopher said, any advice for shallow water walleye in southern Wisconsin heading out for the afternoon, night bite this afternoon? Through the ice, again, it's not something I do a lot of. Maybe somebody else can answer that. Again, it's something I think Rob will be able to answer. He's done a lot of ice fishing for walleye and such like that, and kind of has a better pulse on that. All right. Dale said, just my opinion, smaller, later coho. Okay. Christopher said, I'm between walleye in Wisconsin or harbor fishing for browns. And that's a tough decision to make right there. Both are good options. Honestly, you could do both. Just go set up in the morning for one and then hit the afternoon for the other one. Jay Lee, welcome. Christopher, good question. How's Southport Kenosha fish? Better or good as the main marina? You know what? Most of the reports I've been hearing are guys out of the main harbor. I haven't heard of guys in Southport. Not to say that they're not in there, but Southport itself always has browns too. So, what I would say is if Kenosha, the main harbor, is busy, try and poke over to Southport and see if you can find something that's open over there. The cool thing about Southport is it's not very deep and such, and there's always browns in there too. All right. Well, guys, if there's no further questions here, we're gonna wrap it up a little sooner than normal, but still wanted to get that info to you guys, give you the updates on what we got here. If you missed anything, if you showed up to the live late, after it's done, you can rewind it and watch it back from the beginning where we covered the new lures. And again, one that I'm really excited about here for the Fall Kings are the new Reef Runners they're like the Moonshine crossover. These are Moonshine custom glow. So you got bloody nose here. It's got the Moonshine paint on them. So I'm excited to go through the rest of these boxes and see what other Moonshine reef runners they've come out with. It's gonna be really cool to give those a whirl in the fall. We got Moonshine spoons in themselves. We'll get those up, and then finally the Flash reef runners. They're almost like jigging wraps. Their version of it are in as well. And so a lot of this stuff will be up during the week, as I kind of covered at the beginning of the live. All right. Chuck said, were you allowed to fish in North Point? Last I remember, there was restrictions. You can only fish on off of designated piers. Yeah, you just can't go anywhere, unfortunately. You know, don't know why that is, but that's the rule that's in place right now. So, all right, guys. Hey, thank you for joining me. Hopefully you guys have a great weekend. Try and get out there and do some fishing. If you need anything, we're here to help. You can also visit us on our website at lakemichiganangler.com to gear up. If you see something on the website that says it's unavailable, there's no quantity on it, feel free to call and verify. Sometimes we don't get a chance to update it right away, or we may have it in a box and it hasn't been put up or updated. We might have it available or even be able to get it for you. So feel free to call in, speak to myself or Rob for anything you might be looking for. And we look forward to talking to you guys next week. Check out the podcast. We released one this week on perch fishing. So if you're into perch fishing, definitely check out that podcast with our buddy Phil, who's a big perch fishing guy out of Chicago. Does a lot of it in Chicago. Check out that podcast. We'll have more coming up this week with Lance from Howie's Tackle and especially king fishing up in Sturgeon Bay, which is a really good episode. That's going to be coming out on Monday on our channel as well. So make sure you check it for that content. Hopefully you guys enjoy it. And we'll see you guys later. Take care.